If you don't think people don't want war right now, you got something else coming. Let me read this to you. U.S. training Ukrainian troops to use less ammo. Why is that a big deal? Let me read you part of the story. U.S. Defense Secretary Lloyd Austin said allies are working with Ukrainian troops to emphasize training on maneuver, and there is a good chance they will require less artillery ammunition due to the additional maneuver training. The U.S. and European allies are working to increase munitions production to keep up with the Ukrainian artillery and refill dwindling stockpiles. What does that mean? It means that the United States of America is planning on a very long-term confrontation. That's what that means. Make no mistake about it, they plan on doing this for a very long time. Let's back up to what's happening domestically for just a second, because it all comes back to war. All of it does. How about the Federal Aviation Administration? The FAA chief calls for a safety summit after airline and NOTAM incidents. If you don't know what we're talking about what happened with Southwest. We're talking about what happened with a few other airlines. And then, of course, what happened with the note-to-airman system. If you don't know anything about the note-to-airman system, you can go back at the broadcast that Monkey and I did probably 15 broadcasts ago, beginning of the month of January, where we talked about what was happening with these NOTAMs. But the acting FAA administrator, this is Billy Nolan, issued a call to action in a memorandum after two safety incidents involving jetliners and the NOTAM system in late 2022. Nolan is forming a safety review team to determine if other safety incidents occurred. Notice this, he's also planning a summit in March with commercial and private aviation businesses and labor groups. I think this is the beginning of the preparation of the Federal Aviation Administration at the direction of the current regime in office strong-arming aviation as we know it today. I think we're headed towards war. I think we're headed towards a very, very bad flavor of war. And I think it's coming a lot sooner than later, folks. How about this? This one's huge, huge. Russia calls for UN Security Council meeting over Nord Stream. For those of you that want more in-depth information on what happened with Nord Stream, particularly the NS2, that pipeline was blown up by the United States of America. But listen to this, because this is crazy. Listen to what's said here. This is remarkable. Russia said it would call a meeting of the United Nations Security Council to discuss the sabotage of its Nord Stream gas pipelines. The meeting, scheduled for February 22nd, was reported by the Russian state-backed media outlet RIA News Agency. The U.S. continues to deny its involvement in the sabotage operation and called such allegations utterly false. By the way, just so that you know, the official investigations that have gone on have determined that this was destroyed by sabotage, folks. That's not under question. Some people are saying that Russia did it. No way in the world that Russia would do it. Russia would not attack their own resource like that. And the reason why they would never attack their own resource like that is because the natural resource represented by the transport of which through the Nord Stream is one of the greatest leverage tools that Putin has ever had against all of Europe and the rest of the world, for that matter. And by the way, he's winning that war. He's not losing. Even with the destruction of the pipeline, he's still winning that war.